Hello Oklahoma. Today we are releasing our statewide employment report for December 2019. We'll start off by looking at our unemployment rates. For December, the unemployment rate for the state comes in at 3.4%. That's the same rate that we had in November, and it's a tenth below the national rate at 3.5. A year ago, the state's unemployment rate was at 3.1%. Next, we show you the estimated number of unemployed persons in the state of Oklahoma. In December, we estimate that there were 62,990 unemployed people in the state of Oklahoma. That's an increase over the month of 348 and an increase over the year of 5,488. Now we show you the number of continued claims for unemployment insurance. This doesn't come from the household survey that's produced by BLS, but because it is related to unemployment rates, we did want to show this. You can see that over the last few months we have had an increase in the number of continuing claims for unemployment insurance. In fact, the most recent weekly data, which is for the week ending January 11th, was up to 17,662. That's the 4-week moving average. And the weekly number is a little over 19,000. So we have had some significant increases over the past few months in this measurement. Looking back a little bit to November, this map shows you the unemployment rates at the county level. Every month we release an estimate of unemployment rates by county, and here's what they look like across the state. You can see the lower unemployment rates are in yellow, and the higher rates are in the darker blue in the southeastern part of the state primarily. The county with the highest unemployment rate was Latimer County. It came in at 7.7%, and Cimarron County in the western end of the Panhandle was the lowest unemployment rate at 1.8%. This second map is showing you county unemployment rates, but from a different perspective. It's showing the over-the-year change in the unemployment rates for the counties. Because the county unemployment rates are not seasonally adjusted, as is the state data, it's better to look at the change over the year rather than over the month. Here you can see that the counties in red, which is 75 of our 77 counties, they all had increasing unemployment rates. The only two counties from November of 2018 to November of 2019 that didn't increase were Marshall County, which was unchanged, and then Nowata County in green, which was down 0.2. Turning now to our establishment survey data, we first want to talk about employment revisions for the November 2019 preliminary estimates. Each month we release preliminary estimates, and then the next month we revise that information. As you can see, we did have some upward revisions in November. Overall, the state's employment across industries was revised up by 2,100 jobs. And now we'll also show you some of the industries where those revisions occurred. A large revision occurred in professional and business services. It was revised upward by 1,100 jobs. Manufacturing was revised up a little bit less than that. On the far right, you can see that mining and logging, which in Oklahoma is mostly oil and gas, it actually had a downward revision of about 800 jobs. Now we're going to show you the December estimate for payroll employment in the state. The estimate is at 1,691,400. That is down 1,300 jobs from the upwardly revised November estimate. For the last 12 months, the state has declined by a net of 4,800 jobs. Since July, when we hit our peak at 1,704,000 jobs, we've had 5 consecutive months where employment has declined, and since that peak, we've declined by 12,600 jobs. Of particular interest to many Oklahomans is employment in our oil and gas industry. Here we use the official terminology of mining and logging. In December, employment in this industry was at 48,100 jobs, and that's a decline of 1,700 jobs over the month. And over the last 12 months, that's a decline of 6,700 jobs, or a decline of a little over 12% in this important sector. Now we're showing you the distribution of employment change around the state. You can see the blue line is the statewide employment, and this is looking at the annual percentage change in payroll employment. And here it shows the decline of 4,800 jobs, or a negative 0.3%. So over the year, the state's total payroll employment is beginning to decline at a slow pace. The red line is looking at the Oklahoma City metropolitan area, and it's a part of the state that is still growing. Job growth is slowing there, but it's still adding jobs year over year. The Tulsa metropolitan area is beginning to shrink in terms of its job change year over year, but the real weakness is occurring in the balance of state. That's the area of the state that's outside both of the Oklahoma City and the Tulsa metropolitan areas. We're seeing job declines of well over a percentage point in those rural areas and micropolitans. Better news, this graph is showing average weekly earnings for the private sector. We take this on a 12-month moving average to reduce some of the volatility. Over the month, private sector weekly earnings are up 67 cents to $873.37, and that is up 3.7% from a year ago. The rate of growth is declining, it's slowing, but still we are adding earnings over the last few months. Well, that wraps up our report for the statewide employment report for December 2019. We do want to remind you of some upcoming data releases. On February 5th, we'll have our sub-state report for the last month of 2019. And then on March 16th, we'll have our next statewide report, and that will cover January of 2020. If you have questions, you can call me, Lynn Gray, at 405-557-7221, or you can email me at the email address that you see.